José González aquí para Lucha Libre Online, Metro y el Calce. En español, nadie lo hace mejor. Estamos aquí presentes en Pro Wrestling Action en Altamonte Springs. Y mi invitado en este momento, un luchador bien visto en OVW y en mucha de la gente independiente aquí en los Estados Unidos. Mi invitado, Stevie Michaels. Stevie, how are you, sir? Thank you for joining us on Lucha Libre Online.
Hey, thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Stevie, man, you've been doing a lot of great work at OVW. You're doing a lot of great stuff, but you always seem to find yourself back in Central Florida, here in Pro Wrestling Action. What keeps you bringing you back over here to the good old Sunshine State?
Man, you know, Florida's a second home. I learned the craft here, so it's always nice to come back. It's always nice to see faces that I don't get to see often. It's good to see, you know, like Lexi. I don't get to see her often. You know, a bunch of these guys. So it's always good to come home.
Stevie, so you and I have known each other for a few years now. We've seen you back, back in the shows. But one of the things that really impresses me is that the amount of traveling that you do, man. And that's just one of the big things that a lot of people don't understand about this business is that, taking the bumps in the ring is one thing. The traveling is a whole other thing. How do you deal with that? Because I know you're from Chicago. You do stuff over there. You do stuff in Pennsylvania. Now you're doing stuff in the West Coast. Talk to me a little bit about the pressures of traveling as an independent wrestler.
Man, it's tough. It's tough on the personal life. It's tough on the body. I mean, you're going from town to town to town, and sometimes there's days where I'm driving 10 hours round trip from Chicago to Louisville, and then hopping on a flight the next morning down here to Florida. And it's a grind. It's a real grind, but it's worth it. I mean, I get to come to towns like this. I get to go. I was just in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm doing stuff in Texas. I'm getting to see parts of this country that I wouldn't see otherwise, and it's a joy. It's an honest joy.
Now, when you're working with all these different independent companies, you got to deal with the administration and things like that, right? We've known the administration that works here for Pro Wrestling Action. The straight shooter, Dan, is a great guy. What keeps you coming back, man?
Like you said, Dan's amazing, right? I've known Dan since my first match. He was the announcer for my first match, which is amazing, and now I'm working for him. Now he's paying my check. So I'll do anything for this guy, this company. It's a great company, and I'm just happy to be welcomed here with open arms in Central Florida.
What about OVW, man? Talk to us a little bit about OVW. How's your experience been working over there in that territory, getting your name out there in a larger audience, bigger eyes? What's it been like?
Dude, OVW's amazing. We're the only company with live television, weekly live television on Fight Network. Where every Thursday night we've got 2 live hours on Fight. And so that's huge. We're syndicated everywhere. So to work under Al Snow, to learn from him, to learn from Doug Basham, who's one of the head trainers there now, to learn from these guys and to pick their brains and get little bits of knowledge is phenomenal. Jesse Goddard is one of the top guys in the company, and Jesse is, despite what you may see on TV in the back, Jesse's helping me get better every week. So it's a really great opportunity, just for exposure, absolutely, but to learn and to perfect my craft, it's a hell of a place to go.
And you can see the change in the last few years or where you were before. So you're doing great work, Stevie. Where can everyone follow you on social so they can find out where you're going to be popping up next?
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Chicago Bear Hug. And you can see me there. I got some shows coming up. I'm going to be in Hawaii working for US Wrestling on March 30th. That's a big one for me. I'm every month I'm in Rocket Pro Wrestling in Joliet, Illinois. And then, of course, like I said, OVW. You catch us every Thursday night, 2 hours live on Fight TV. You can't beat that. You can't beat it.
Bueno, damas y caballeros, para el Chicago Bears, soy José González de Lucha Libre Online, Metro y el Calce. En español, nadie lo hace mejor. Nos vemos en la próxima entrevista.